Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and we are up again once more with a Panalisa and let's make this. And I've already done some die cutting, tried to be organised, so we're going to use the tassel in this set, or the fringe, whichever it is that you want to use it for. I'm going to use the bow and these like faux strings. It does come with other bits, but there they are. You get like a rope and a ribbon threader, but I'm using those two and the bow today. Using this lace back plate because somebody asked to see this one, and they also asked to see the teapot. So because they're so similar, I thought I would do those. Right, move those out of the way, and I've already done my background. So I've laid a yellow piece of cardstock, going to be happy and sunny today, on top of a white piece of cardstock, and this is 4.5 by 5 3/4. That is the size of this card. I don't know which way around I'm going to have it yet. I'm probably going to have it up down, so vertically. Now this is the back panel. Now, as you can see, I've actually used a heavyweight cardstock, and if you want to, you can go ahead and you can punch all that out. Be my guest, go ahead, you can do that. But I'm leaving it whole, and I still think, you know, whole it looks pretty, but I'm, you know, touching it delicately because I don't want any of my bits to drop out. Now, my fringe I need to glue onto here, and I think I'm going to go about there, and it's going to be my sort of like tablecloth for my teapot. So this is the bit that I'm going to have to stick down first, and then I've got my ribbony bit which I've cut in pink, and I think that's going to go kind of on there like that. And then I've got my bow. So I think I'm going to have my bow off to one side, and I've also got a couple of my pink resin roses, and I think I'm going to like drop one in the center there. But first of all, I need to get the tassel and the bow bits stuck down so that I can trim those off and put them to my base. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, so I'm going to run my glue all the way along the back, which is this, and my cardstock is looking a bit scruffy today, and the reason for that is because I cut out a lot of black yesterday. Right, I'm just looking at the width of my card. I need to go a bit further. There we go, and I'm going to stick that down. Now I want to get it fairly straight, so I'm just having a look there while getting glue everywhere, and you can see that it's all curled up because of my humidity. So that is going to go down flat eventually, but I'm just kind of lining up to my holes. And I think that's straight. It looks it. Well, anyway, I have committed, and I'm going to get my excess glue off of there without knocking my bits out. Right, so now I've got that out of there, I'm going to cut this off the back. So I've got my scissors. Somebody asked yesterday, what scissors do I use? I use the Tim Holtz mini snips, tiny snips, whatever it is that they're called. So it's the smallest of the Tim Holtz. Now this, if you wanted to, you know, I think I've got ooh, where's my poke tool? You can tell I haven't had coffee this morning. I have got a quilling tool somewhere, which is preferable, but you know, if you get yourself started and just make a circle, obviously you want one tighter than that, but you can, if you haven't got a quilling tool, just use something round to get yourself started. And you can do a tassel with this as well. So if you didn't want to waste that bit, you know, I think you can see where I'm coming from here. So you've got a tassel, so if you wanted to do that with any scraps, you can absolutely do that, but I'm not doing that. I've got this and I'm happy with that. Right, next bit is my bow bit. So I need to get some glue down here. I was going to touch the edges there. And I don't really know how much of this is going to go on the actual card. So I think I'm going to go below that straight line and actually onto the tassel. And I'm going to go like that. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to trim from the back again. Just straighten that up. Right, so now I've got that bit. I can put my bow on after. It's just that I needed to have those bits there in order to be able to put this down on top of here. Right, so glue on the back. Say a small prayer for yourself that nothing drops out. I don't think that it will, not if you're using a heavyweight cardstock and you only run it through once. Obviously, if you go back and forth, which usually helps to knock all those bits out instead of poking them all out, then you may find that you're going to lose a few bits. But I'm going to go with that. I'm doing it really carefully because even the weight of glue can knock bits out of paper. And then very cautiously, I'm just, because of my humidity, putting a little bit along there. Right, so all of my bits have stayed in. I'm just capping off my glue again. Flip it over. I'm actually going to stand up for this so that I can see I'm getting it down straight. Right, as I said, real bad humidity. I'm just going to hold this for a second and I'll be back. Right, so that's dry, and of course you can fluff your fringe and everything up afterwards, but the next thing I need to do is stick my bow down, because when I stick my bow down I basically know where my teapot is going to go, and I believe my bow is going to go there, and then we can just move this out of the way to dry and I can start doing the teapot. Right, so that's going to go there. I need a blob of glue for my rose, and that is going to go down there. So there's our pretty little start, and I will pick it up so that you can have a look, because I think my camera's a bit weird because of all the sunshine. Ah, there you go. So we've got the pink rose on, we've got our little yellow trim, and thankfully all those bits have remained inside. So that's the base of the card. Now next up we've got the teapot. So I've done the base in pink, I've got the lid in white, I've got the little lid top in pink, I've got the belly of the teapot in white, which is going to go onto here, and I've also done a pink handle which goes on last, and also a little pink frill which will go on last, and of course those will go on as well. And I've also got a rose just in case I wanted to put one on the lid of the teapot. Now I'm not actually doing a sentiment with this today because of course I'm going out to donate these after, so the people at the old folks home, they will do that for themselves. Right, so I need to get my glue into little areas where we can see spaces, just enough so that it will stick down. Try to get a few dots along the edges because you don't want that waving up on you. And of course I'm having a conversation here with people who suffer humidity, so I've got plenty on there. And I'm going to stick it down. Now I am going to pick it up towards me because I think this has to be lined up. I'm going to go over there just a little bit. I think that will do. And it does look nice when you poke it out because you've got that lovely pink showing through those flowers. And real quick and easy to do. So next I'm going to put my little dot on my teapot and pop that on there. I have got my pickup tool, but because that's not necessarily a tiny piece, I think I'll be able to get away with it. Right, I do want that further down. There we go. And I think I'm going to go with a rose on my teapot as well, so that can be off to the side drying. So there's my little rosy teapot lid. That is sticking down nicely. So the next thing I'm going to do is put my frill on the bottom, and I'm just going to go onto the edge of the white here, because I do think that kind of is meant to frill up a little bit 3D, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to line that up with the pattern that I've got. And clean that glue out. So now we've got that. Ooh, I see we're only at 11 minutes. It took me about 10 minutes to cut it out, so you can see this is another lovely quick card. Get some glue on the handle. And the handle looks nice just like that, but you've got a little fancy stitched bit that you can pop on as well. So I'm just going to pick that up and make sure I've got that on straight. Now, I think I'm going to put my pot on some foam so that it's a bit more kind of 3D. Yeah, and then I'll pop the lid on afterwards. That was my bone folder tool. I've been trying to be really good and keep some stuff on my desk, but sometimes it just gets in the way. Right, foam. And I'm using Alina Craft, or am I using Dollar Tree? I'm going to use Dollar Tree because I've got some of this here. So just flip that over, get my scissors, and we'll give it a little bit of dimension. I'm just going to put a few bits in there. And then just a couple of little pieces in these areas. And one up by the lid. There, that should be sufficient. And peel the backs off. How's everybody coping with the weather? Mine has been extremely hot, although we have had a lot of rain, hence the humidity. So, you know, I'm extremely grateful for that. Now, I'm going to tuck my pot about there. And then I need to glue my lid on. You can see there's plenty of space up there to do a happy birthday or a Mother's Day, whichever way you choose to use it. And just a little bit of glue here. I'm hoping that that rose doesn't drop off. And then that should just overlap slightly. I think I've got it on straight. But how pretty and how quick was that? I love that. I think it's really cute, really pretty. And you don't have to use all those bits. And don't forget, the teapot also comes with a shaker element so that the belly of the teapot can be a shaker. But because I made a shaker yesterday, I decided to just do it plain, because you need different ways of doing things. But look at that, isn't that cute? Really love that. And as I said, oodles of space up there to put your sentiment in. I mean, that could even be a get well card, you know, because it's nice to have a steaming hot bowl of tea when you're not feeling too good. But anyway, that is what I got. And I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fabulous day. I'll be up again tomorrow with more from Panalisa. As usual, all links below. Bye.